Have you ever noticed how your energy seems to run out faster than it used to? Maybe it happens right after breakfast or when you're just halfway through folding the laundry. A simple trip to the grocery store leaves you needing a nap. And sometimes, even without doing much at all, there's this lingering feeling, tired, drained, a bit foggy. If you've felt like that lately, you are absolutely not alone. And here's the good news, it doesn't have to stay that way. Aging brings changes, there's no denying that. The body slows down, and the immune system becomes a little more sensitive, a little more delicate. But that doesn't mean we simply surrender to fatigue, poor sleep, or frequent sniffles as if it's all just part of getting older. No. The truth is, there are small, everyday choices we make, often without realizing, that can quietly chip away at our immune health. But the moment we recognize those habits, we can start to gently turn things around. In today's video, we're going to talk about 5 of the most common mistakes people over 70 unknowingly make, habits that silently weaken the immune system and steal our vitality. And more importantly, we'll talk about what you can do instead, starting today, to feel stronger, healthier, and more alive in your own skin. If you enjoy conversations about staying healthy, emotionally grounded, and living with purpose in this chapter of life, I'd love to have you join our little community here. Please give this video a like, share it with someone you care about, and press the subscribe button. I'm working toward reaching 1,000 subscribers so I can continue creating content that truly helps. Your support means the world to me. Now, let's begin with the first common mistake, something that might seem harmless on the surface but has a surprisingly big impact on your daily energy and immunity. One of the quietest ways we wear ourselves down is by not getting enough natural sunlight. Now, I'm not talking about lying out in the sun for hours, heavens no. But spending most of our time indoors, especially in the early morning hours, can mess with our internal rhythm and affect the body's production of vitamin D. And vitamin D is more than just a bone strengthener. It plays a vital role in regulating the immune system. When we don't get enough of it, we can feel sluggish, more prone to colds, and even experience low mood. Just imagine this for a moment. You wake up, make a cup of tea, maybe read the paper at the kitchen table. But what if, instead of staying indoors for that part of your morning, you stepped outside? Even 5 to 10 minutes of morning light, on your skin and in your eyes, can help your body wake up properly, reset your internal clock, and give your immune system a little boost. If you have a porch, a balcony, or even a sunny window, that's a great place to start. Just breathe in, look around, feel the warmth on your face. That simple act alone can make a difference more powerful than many people realize. Now let's talk about the second mistake, something many of us were taught was polite or proper, but which can actually wear down the immune system over time. I'm talking about holding in your emotions, especially stress and worry. Many of us grew up in a time when you were expected to keep your chin up or not burden others. And while there's strength in staying calm through tough times, suppressing emotions completely can turn into a kind of silent pressure that the body carries day after day. When we feel stress or anxiety and don't acknowledge it or find ways to release it, our immune system feels it too. The body produces stress hormones like cortisol, which in small doses can help, but when stress becomes constant, those hormones begin to dampen the immune response. It's like our internal defenses are always stuck in a state of alert, and eventually they wear out. So, what can we do instead? We talk. We write. We breathe. Sometimes just having a safe conversation with someone you trust, a neighbor, a grandchild, a friend, even a pet, can lighten the emotional load. Journaling, too, can be healing. Just put your thoughts down without worrying if they sound poetic or proper. The goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to be free. And breathing, yes, even breathing differently, can help. Deep belly breaths, slowly in and out, a few minutes a day. It tells the nervous system, you're safe now. You can rest. And when the nervous system calms down, the immune system can do its job better. Now, let me ask you a simple question. when was the last time you truly felt thirsty? If you had to stop and think, that might be part of the issue. That brings us to the third mistake that sneaks up on so many of us: underhydration. Yes, not drinking enough water. And no, coffee and tea don't count the same way. As we get older, the body's thirst signals don't work quite as clearly as they used to. We might think, "I'm not thirsty, I must be fine." But dehydration can creep in subtly. It can make us feel tired, dizzy, confused, even grumpy. Worse, it also affects how well our cells can fight off infections. Water helps flush out toxins, supports digestion, and keeps the mucous membranes in our nose and throat moist. Those are the frontline defenders against bacteria and viruses. The fix? Keep a small glass or bottle of water nearby throughout the day. Make it part of your routine. Maybe a glass before breakfast, one after your walk, and another mid-afternoon. If plain water doesn't appeal, try adding a slice of lemon or cucumber for a bit of taste. Herbal teas, unsweetened, can also be soothing and hydrating. Think of it this way: every sip you take is a little act of care, a quiet promise to your body that you're looking after it, even in the smallest ways. Now that we've touched on sunlight, emotional expression, and hydration, let's keep going. Because when you understand how these small shifts connect to your well-being, it becomes easier to build a life that feels stronger, steadier, and more joyful every day. So now that we've begun to gently look at how sunlight, unspoken emotions, and hydration play a quiet role in the way we feel each day, it's time to explore another subtle but powerful factor, something that happens every single night, and yet often gets overlooked. I'm talking about sleep, or more specifically, the mistake of not protecting your sleep routine. It's funny, isn't it? We spend a third of our lives sleeping, and yet we rarely stop to think about the quality of that sleep. Many people over 70 begin to notice their sleep becomes lighter, more fragmented. Some wake up often in the night, others rise at dawn regardless of when they went to bed. And gradually, poor sleep becomes the norm. But the immune system never stops working. It repairs, rebuilds, and rebalances while we sleep. So, when rest becomes shallow or broken, the body doesn't get a chance to restore itself fully. The body is wiser than we think, and it loves rhythm. Going to bed and waking up at roughly the same time each day sends a calming signal to the brain: you're safe. You can let go. Creating a simple evening ritual can help your body ease into that rest. Maybe it's dimming the lights an hour before bed, turning off the news, or listening to soft music or an audiobook that soothes your thoughts. And here's a gentle suggestion: try not to fall asleep in front of the TV. It may feel comforting, but the blue light and noise keep the brain slightly alert, even in sleep. Instead, choose something quiet and familiar. A warm foot soak. A small cup of chamomile tea. Reading a few pages from a book that brings you peace. It's not about doing things perfectly, it's about finding what gently invites rest into your body. Because true rest isn't just closing your eyes. It's feeling safe, warm, and unburdened enough to let go. And when you sleep deeply, your immune system hums along, doing what it's meant to do, protecting you from the inside out. Let's keep moving. Because there's one more everyday habit that often sneaks up on us, even when we're trying to do the right thing. And that is the mistake of eating too little, or eating too much of the wrong kinds of food. You see, as we age, our appetite might change. Some people eat less simply because they're not cooking for others anymore. Others find comfort in easy-to-reach foods like crackers, toast, or sweets, especially when energy is low or the day feels quiet. And while it's completely natural to lean towards simplicity, the immune system needs nourishment, real nourishment, to stay alert and ready. The immune system isn't just a switch you flip on. It's a vast network of cells, proteins, and messages that depends on vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants to stay sharp. That means foods rich in color and variety, vegetables, berries, nuts, olive oil, fish, beans, and whole grains, are like fuel for your defenses. They don't need to be fancy or expensive. Even a bowl of warm lentil soup, a handful of blueberries, or a scrambled egg with some spinach can work wonders. What really matters is that meals feel balanced and nurturing. Try to include a little bit of protein with each meal, something like yogurt, a boiled egg, or a few slices of chicken. Protein helps build the white blood cells that fight off viruses and bacteria. Don't worry if your portions are small. What counts is the regularity and variety. And let's not forget joy. Eating should be something you look forward to. If you've lost a bit of that spark, try inviting it back. Maybe light a candle at dinner, even if you're eating alone. Put on music that reminds you of your younger years. Call a friend and have lunch over the phone. Food doesn't just feed the body, it feeds the soul. And when we feel nourished emotionally, our immune systems often follow suit. There's a kind of beauty in paying attention to these little things. They're not dramatic, not loud, not complicated. But they matter. You don't need 100 supplements or fancy health plans. Sometimes, just taking a walk in the morning sun, speaking your heart, sipping a glass of water, resting well, and feeding your body with care is more than enough. When you treat your body with that level of compassion, your body begins to respond. Slowly, steadily. Your energy returns. Your sleep deepens. Your skin feels warmer. And even if you're still managing health challenges, and we all are, in some way, you'll start to feel a deeper sense of stability. Like you're on your own side again. Like you haven't been forgotten, not by yourself, not by your body, and certainly not by life. And if you're watching this and thinking, well, I've already made all these mistakes, I want you to know, there's no blame here. Not even a little bit. We do the best we can with what we know. And every single day is a new opportunity to make one small choice that brings you closer to health, peace, and joy. That's all we can ask of ourselves. So far, we've talked about how sunlight, emotions, hydration, rest, and nourishment all play a role in your immune strength. But there's still one more everyday habit that deserves our attention, one that may surprise you with how much power it holds, even if it seems small on the surface. Let's keep walking this path together. You're doing beautifully. So, let's take a gentle breath together now. You've already come so far just by being open to learning, open to listening, and maybe even open to making one or two small changes that could help you feel just a little stronger tomorrow than you did yesterday. And that brings us to one final, quiet mistake that many people don't even realize they're making. It's easy to miss, especially in the slower rhythm of life after 70. But it can chip away at your immune system just the same. It's the habit of isolation, of going long stretches without meaningful connection. And I don't just mean being physically alone. Sometimes, even when others are around, we can still feel a little invisible, can't we? Like we're watching life from a distance instead of being a part of it. That quiet loneliness, even if we don't speak it aloud, can actually affect the body more than we realize. It increases stress hormones, lowers immunity, and can even make healing slower. But the good news, the really wonderful news, is that connection doesn't need to be complicated. It doesn't have to involve big social gatherings or long conversations. Sometimes, just a warm exchange with a neighbor, a phone call with an old friend, or even a smile shared with someone at the grocery store is enough to remind your heart, I belong. I matter. I'm not forgotten. And in today's world, even if distance keeps people physically apart, you'd be amazed how deeply people appreciate a handwritten note or a simple text message. Thinking of you today. That's all it takes to open a door. And you might be surprised who walks through it. Many folks are just waiting for a sign that someone still sees them. If you have grandkids or nieces and nephews, try asking them to help you learn a bit of technology, maybe a video call or even sending voice messages. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't need to become a tech wizard overnight. But these small efforts to reach out can build a bridge, not only toward others, but back to your own vitality. Because when we feel connected, truly connected, something changes inside. Our breath softens. Our hearts lift just a little. And our bodies, our amazing, resilient, still capable bodies, begin to respond. The immune system, too, listens to these quiet messages of hope and togetherness. It strengthens when we feel safe, seen, and supported. And just to be clear, this isn't about suddenly becoming more social or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about honoring your own rhythm while still inviting gentle, meaningful interaction into your life. Even time spent with a pet, a plant, or writing in a journal can bring that sense of presence and care that the immune system so deeply craves. Now, as we take a step back and look at everything we've explored together, I hope you can see that boosting your immune system at this stage of life doesn't have to involve drastic changes. There's no pressure to be perfect, no need to overhaul your whole routine. The real magic lies in the quiet, doable shifts, the kind you can start today. Let the sun kiss your skin in the morning. Speak your truth to someone who cares. Drink your water slowly, like a gift. Create a bedtime that feels peaceful and protected. Feed your body with simple, colorful meals. And most of all, reach out when your heart needs warmth. These are not just habits. They're acts of love, love for your body, your mind, your spirit. And every single one of them whispers to your immune system, I'm still here. I still matter. I choose life. Remember, there is no age where it's too late to start feeling better. There's no number that defines your worth or your strength. At 70, 80, even 90, you are still allowed to feel vibrant. You are still allowed to grow, to heal, and to change. And above all, you are still deeply needed in this world. So if this message touched you today, I'd love for you to leave a comment below. Share one small change you're planning to make. Or maybe just say hello and let us know where you're watching from. Because someone else might be reading those comments too, and your words could be the very encouragement they've been waiting for. And if this kind of content nourishes you, if you enjoy conversations about health, emotions, and living with meaning no matter your age, then please give this video a like, share it with someone you love, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm walking this journey with you, and together, we can build a space that uplifts and strengthens our entire community. Your health is not behind you, it's still with you. And so is your ability to live fully. Let's cherish that truth. Let's honor our bodies. And let's keep choosing, every day, to care for ourselves with kindness and intention. Here's to living your best life, at any age, and especially right now.